Hi, I'm Jules Chin Greene, and I'm here at C2E2 2026 with Elden Henson. How has it been going, Elden?
Well, let's see. It's been going so good.
That's
the best that it's ever been. I'm just kidding. It's been good, man. It's been busy. It's been, It's been fun.
For sure. And just to start things off here, I first saw you in the Mighty Ducks, which meant a lot to me because I was a kid growing up playing hockey. And so something I've always wondered is, was that really you doing all of the skating?
That's a good question. So we had hockey camps before each movie. So by the third one, we all got pretty decent at skating. A lot of the stuff of it was remotely dangerous. They used skating doubles.
Right.
I think they were afraid one of us would get hurt. And
yeah.
It's expensive to shut down for a couple of days or whatever.
For sure.
But the cool thing was we shot all those, or most of them, in Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
And there is no shortage of amazing hockey players there.
Oh, yeah.
So they made us look really, really good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's lovely because I feel like that's that and the Miracle movie with Kurt Russell are kind of the holy grail for hockey kids.
Yeah.
So that's really delightful.
And then it was great to see the women and the men win gold in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's also just amazing because I think the women's team has medaled every time they've been in the Olympics.
Have you seen, I'm blanking on her name right now, of course, because I suck at memory. But the girl, I believe she plays for Minnesota, and she had that thing. Did you guys see that? Where she flipped the puck up and then slapped it down in between the other girl's legs, and then she passed it. I mean, I was it's one of the sickest things I've ever seen in hockey.
I mean, that's what I love about the sport is that it's just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Players can get so tricky and just come up with all kinds of things that you've never seen before.
Yeah, it's a great sport to watch, especially live.
For sure, for sure. And also, speaking of sports, earlier in your career as well, you were in Catherine Hardwicke's skateboarding classic movie, Lords of Dogtown.
Yes.
And, I also saw that movie as a kid and was just oh yeah, this is what everyone in California does. They just skateboard in empty pools.
Right,
and,
right.
Was the experience of shooting that movie just as cool as the final product?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have much to do with that movie, but yes, it was because, I got a chance to meet a lot of my childhood heroes, Stacy Peralta and Tony Alva, and just there was a bunch of them. A lot of those guys came by at some point, So yeah, that was pretty incredible. I only wish I got to be in it more, but yeah. It was great, man. And, Heath was just one of the most, incredible people. He just really was just such a kind soul. And I thoroughly enjoyed working with him. Not even when we were off camera, but when we were actually in scenes together too, he was just, one of a kind.
For sure. And moving along, you were in Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And so talk about, just a really diverse filmography here. Did you guys shoot that movie on location?
Yeah, so they shot that in Oklahoma. And again, that was one that I was just only there for a short amount of time. But the very first day I was there was a rehearsal for this really long oneer that went all throughout the house. And that was a crazy moment where I'm whoa, dude, I'm practicing for a Scorsese oneer, could die right now and be stoked,
Right, yeah. This is cinema. I mean, all of it's cinema, but it's just on a different level.
Yeah, and it's rare to work on something that, his movies are so full of detail and authenticity, and that's always really impressive to see,
For sure. And so to return to Daredevil Born Again, in the first episode of season 1, your character, Foggy Nelson, unfortunately got killed off.
Yeah.
And what was it like getting that script for the first time and like turning to the page and just seeing like, oh man, like Foggy hits the dust?
So, you know, man, so originally when they were like, they'd started making the show, and then I'd heard they were making the show, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to be a part of it, like, all good. And then they asked me to come back, but they didn't tell me that they were going to kill me off yet. But I kind of like suspected, you know, I could just kind of tell, like, a lot of people were like, hey, has anyone talked to you yet? Like, have you heard anything? So I wasn't altogether surprised when I actually read it. And, you know, not being like on the show anymore, I only got that scene.
Right.
So I didn't really have any idea of like, or those like few scenes that I was in. So I didn't really have much of an idea of like the context of like the rest of the stuff. But what I will say is, if I was going to be, or, you know, playing Foggy, if he's going to be killed by anyone, I can't think of a more lovely human being than Wilson to have killed Foggy.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing. And it's so funny. I was just saying to someone else, it's like, oftentimes, you know, the guys that play like the total psychos are like the nicest guys in real life, you know? So yeah, I mean, listen, I've been so lucky over the years. I've been fortunate enough to do like all kinds of different stuff, and it was a bummer, but you know, things are always like changing, you know? Yeah. It's like Ram Dass says, you got to make friends with change.
Right, yeah. And, you know, Foggy got to have his weighty death, you know?
Yeah.
Are there any like particular like movie or TV deaths that kind of ring large in your mind that you were thinking of?
Like Bambi's mom.
Yes.
That was like the first one I can remember, like kind of devastating me. I don't know, you know, it's a good question. You know, whenever someone asks me something like this, it's like I panic and then my mind goes blank and I can't think of anything. But yeah, I guess I'll just go with Bambi's mom. That was brutal.
Yeah, you know, and making that leap from like animation to like live action.
Yeah.
You know, deer to human.
yeah.
For sure. And I guess like, you know, Daredevil fans everywhere have been reeling, you know, since Foggy has been gone. And with interacting with Daredevil fans like at conventions like this one, have you gotten a sense of what Foggy means to a lot of these fans?
Yes, and you know, that has been one like semi-difficult aspect, is like I feel like I'm crushing people's spirit all day long, because they're like, he's coming back, right? And I'm like, no, he's not. And they're like, oh, you know, so that's like been, I didn't anticipate that part of it. But listen, you know, I was aware going in like how much people loved Foggy, you know, and how important he was to the fans, and I felt so lucky to be a part of it and to play this character that's been around long before me and will be around long after me, and just to like have that little piece of it is really special, you know. You know, the fans are why I come to these. You know, you don't often get a chance to chat with people and really hear what they think, you know. But yeah, it's been special. And the funny thing is, you know, I didn't anticipate this either, but I seem to get more attention for playing Foggy now that he's dead than I did before. But, you know, I mean, listen, you know, like I said, I've been so fortunate throughout my career, so I don't know. I look back on all of it with just like so much joy, you know? Yeah, for sure. And I think it, you know, losing him does make him more special to a lot of people, just because it's like, oh man, like that was the end of the road for him, you know? And it's almost like life in that way. Like, I mean, that's kind of dark to say, but you know, like sometimes things happen. Like, you know, I haven't told many people this, but maybe a couple years before we did the scene where Foggy dies, where I lost my best friend, and like it's tough, man, you know, and life's funny like that, you know, and so I that was like heavy on my mind when we were doing that, and obviously these characters aren't real, but they're very real to some people.
Yeah.
You know, so I think you know, you try to, I don't know, for the fans, I guess, give it some sort of, I don't know, closure, you know, and I was happy that they got that as opposed to just not kind of knowing, you know. But yeah, I don't know, you know, like the comic book thing is, it's deep, you know.
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of it I don't understand, so and it's just because I'm not well versed in that world, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that the fans have like embraced me the way that they have, you know. It's like a really special thing.
For sure, for sure. And you've said in the past that Star-Lord is your favorite superhero.
Dude, listen, I'm a huge Chris Pratt fan.
Yeah.
And I know this is not in the whole like Marvel world, but like his character on Parks and Rec, I think will go down as like one of the great like TV comedy characters. He's incredible. I don't know
when he says like he was born with a head full of teeth, you know, like it's hilarious.
Dude, my favorite line that he says in that show, and I heard or I saw online, they were somewhere talking like, and the one of the writers said that it was an improv that Chris came up with it, and he said the thing where he says, I just typed your symptoms into the computer and it says you might have network connectivity problems. I mean, it's just genius.
Yeah.
That guy's a genius, man. And I don't know, I like to laugh, so I feel like I would really enjoy working with him.
Yeah, for sure. So if like Foggy and Star-Lord were to like somehow meet up in New York City, like what type of shenanigans do you think they would get up to?
I don't know. But I would just really hope that, I'm so embarrassed, I can't remember his name, but you know the guy that directed all the Guardians of the Galaxy
James
movies?
Gunn.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
I would love for him to be involved. I just think that guy's amazing, dude. Like, I think he's, I mean, I wouldn't say he's underrated because he's doing all these incredible things, but he's just so talented, so talented.
Yeah, there'd be great needle drops, great heartfelt moments.
Yeah.
Like, I just hope Foggy wouldn't get like too stressed out. Yeah. You know?
And I would do anything he wanted. You know what I mean? Like, he's, that would be cool. For now sure. You got me all wishing for something that's like never going to happen.
Feige, you know, we're waiting for it. Alrighty, well, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Yeah, absolutely, no worries.
And this was wonderful.
Cool.